Welcome back everybody, Dave the Gamer here. Wanted to make a quick guide on some of the things to take in consideration for the Phase 3 best in slot for your Warlock. So there's lots of new items coming in with BWL, but what should you get kind of from MC that's going to carry over? What should be the prio, like the first couple items maybe you want to soft reserve and get? So let's talk about, each, we'll just go from the top going down, kind of what's some comparison, what you should rush for. So with the Helm coming out of BWL, it is a nice helm overall, but the Oni helm is very comparable. So I wouldn't really rush to get this one. You do get an extra 2% crit out of this one. So it is nice, but I don't know if it would be in my top 3 overall. So the neck you're going to get from Molten Core, the Choker Fire Lord. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting that now because that's going to carry over. So make that a high priority in MC. The shoulders, the Blackwing Cabal. This one is very nice. You're going to get, you gain about 25 spell power over the Phase 2 shoulders that you have. So the Phase 2, which if you do the PvP, you could get the 12 plus the 1% crit. So, depends on if you went PvP route, but these ones are pretty nice overall as coming out of the Blackwing layer and just throwing it out there. So I use the Icy Veins. They give a pretty good breakdown of the best gear in slot. So for the back piece, the plus 28 spell power, that's going to be very good overall. The one you're going to have otherwise is a Shadow Raft, just a BOE that you can pick up off the auction house overall. So, not terrible. Now the chest, until I had all the pieces, I wouldn't rush too much because the one out of MC, the volatile power one, you actually get a little less spell power, but 1% more crit. So this one isn't really a huge upgrade at all until you have the 3 set. So I would keep the chest and just kind of wait on actually getting the robe itself. Now the wrist though, the wrist with the 1% hit, that's massive. The ones you're going to be using out of, the BOE World Plus Shadow Power, is decent, but it doesn't have the hit. In Warlocks, they definitely can get the hit off this, so I would make this bracer a very high priority to get once you're in BWL. So I would make this top of my list. Now for the hands, you end up getting the flame glove or ebony flame gloves. Now the ones out of MC are plus 33, so these are plus 10 more. Not game breaking like what you would get the 1% hit off the wrist. So I would put this the gloves further down the list. For the belt, with the belt, it's literally the same exact pretty much stats is what you would get off MC. Like I said, this one is the set bonus. Once you get it, yes, definitely will improve, but I would just use the belt off MC for a while you're getting all the different items. Now for the legs, to get the Fel Infused leggings, this is off one of the world bosses. A little bit more difficult to get in general. Nothing wrong with using the MC legs that you can get. That is plus 39 shadow power. So if you can get your hands on these are excellent. And this is maybe a spot where I might use the Nemesis legs to be able to swap out one of the other pieces that I might be waiting to get. Because everybody's going to be gunning for the Nemesis belt, boots, and the other item for the 3 set. So this would be maybe a flex spot where you could use the Nemesis leggings in the meantime, unless you are able to get the world boss. So if we take a look at the boots, you want to get the Nemesis boots. But overall, like I said, for the set pieces, great. If you have all 3, it makes sense. But in the meantime, realistically, you're probably just going to still be using your regular foot wraps that you got from Strat Dungeon. And those are actually a little bit better overall spell power wise, not all the other stats wise. But I mean, they're so comparable. So I wouldn't rush to get the Nemesis boots unless you already have two of the other set pieces. The rings itself, this is a very high priority. So to be able to get the 1% hit from the ring is just fabulous. So you want to make this one a really sought after one. The Band of Dark Dominion, not really that big, because you're able to get one of the rings from MC, the spell power rings, that are very comparable overall. So I would not rush to get this ring, but this one, yes, 100%. Then the next big thing you're going for is the Trinket. 2% hit, 44 spell power. This is massive. So I would make this a very high priority. A lot of other classes are going to do the same. So this is one that I would really go for. The other trinket is just going to be the trinket out of MC, and all the more reason you should get that now before going into MC. As far as the main hand, offhand goes, so yes, if you were rank 14, you definitely want to be able to get the mageblade from there. If you don't go PvP, there's a couple other ways to go. So you could go with, the staff that drops out of BWL, which is the Shadow Flame, which is an amazing staff as far as that goes. So that is a better alternative, I would say, than if you didn't want to get rank 14. So that you could add to a high priority list to actually get instead. I would highly recommend getting that staff, because the phase 1, you can get the regular mageblade from MC, but everybody's after that, so not as many people ended up getting that. So I would just go with the new staff out of BWL, which is very nice staff overall, instead of going this way. For the wand, you're still going to be using the Skull's Ghastly Touch, because it's 14 shadow, which is a very nice wand. Just that's out of Stratholme. Just make sure you go get that. So just kind of recapping, the top priorities of items that I would be going for is the staff of the Shadow Flame, the trinket of the Nefarian's Tear, one of the Band of the Forced Concentration, and then get your bracers. The bracers of arcane accuracy. So between those items, you're going to get a lot of extra hit, which is going to be great. Your your shadow bolts are going to be critting like crazy. You're not going to be missing as much, because warlocks don't have a ton of hit gear. This will close the gap to get you closer to the hit cap. I know you won't actually hit it 100%, but this will get you there. Those would be the 3 or 4 that I really would concentrate first once you get into BWL. And then from there, organically, you're going to get the set gears to be able to complete the 3 set that you're after. Make sure you do farm Molten Core to get some of the items that carry over. That will help you drastically, so you don't have to mess with that. But those are the 4 things that I would really go after for BWL. And hopefully this guide was helpful. As always, though, game on.